What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you on Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what shorts did, and go over some of the abnormal transactions. So I'm going to go over all that, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. With that said, let's get right to it. So Lucid did close 0.81% in the red. And given everything that happened today, it wasn't all that bad. A lot of the other EV stocks got massacred. So Tesla went down 3.1%, Rivian 2.5%, Polestar 5.6%. So Lucid did do fairly well. But even enough said, throughout the trading day though, there was a lot of abnormal transactions that I wanted to share with you. So starting off, as soon as the market did open, you had a nice bump up in the stock price to around $3.81. That most likely was attributed to two things. One of which was just market makers covering a lot of those options that did expire in the money, like I did say that would happen over the weekend. In addition to that though, there was this. So no official news or whatever else, but this was posted on social media on Twitter, and it does say, "We're thrilled to announce Lucid Motors as our platinum sponsor. Visit us at EVIS 2024 from May 20th to 22nd at ADNEC in Abu Dhabi." So in reality, this post does solidify Lucid's intention on expansion. And I think I did a video on this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, something like that. But this is very good stuff. Plus, it does say that you'll be able to explore Lucid's latest innovations for free at Stand 501. So I think in reality, the market really liked this and really wants Lucid to continue its expansion to the more demanded areas. So I think in reality, this is a very good thing and caused the stock price to go up. Unfortunately, the broader market took hold of Lucid and dragged it down. So shorts were able to really take advantage of that. So they did increase about 1.3 million shares, as you can kind of see right here. But as soon as it reached that peak, then they started to return. And this right here is very abnormal because normally leading into Lucid's earnings in the past, shorts have doubled down, as well as you do see a lot of abnormal selling. But today was opposite, which is very weird. So technically shorts did return about 419,000 shares today. 29.77% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 263.62 million shares overall are being shorted. And as of right now, through Interactive Brokers, it does indicate only 50,000 shares are available to be shorted. So shorts kind of are out of ammunition. Take that with a grain of salt. And I'm definitely not bringing this up because I think it's a short squeeze play. The only way it could be a squeeze if somehow during their earnings they say that maybe the PIF is taking Lucid private at $20, $25, $30, which would be crazy, unrealistic, but it would cause in turn a nice squeeze. But aside from that though, very abnormal stuff. And like I already indicated, leading into Lucid's earnings, you see a lot of these abnormal transactions. It makes you wonder, do they know something, or are they just scared about Lucid actually having a good earnings for once? Because in the past, you usually see a lot of selling. And unfortunately, many times in the past, those individuals that sell off or short have been right leading into their earnings, because I think more common than not, Lucid has a sell-off as a result. But there's a lot of things that has got my attention today. Even right here, you do see a lot of buying. And this, as you can kind of see right here, was very abnormal. So you do see all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So a lot of abnormal buying that was happening. So once again, is it because of someone knows something, or is it because of the people see Lucid as a discount? Like, it's kind of just up in the air. We just have to ultimately wait. There hasn't been any changes to the questions being posed to management, so I'm not really going to bring that up. And there has been no recent analyst ratings. So the last rating was done about 5 days ago by Adam Jonas. And if anything, it was probably his most optimistic and bullish rating ever. But despite that though, after tomorrow, anticipate probably a fresh new set of ratings by all these analysts. So we'll just have to wait and see what does come out as far as numbers, earnings per share, revenue, the targets, and everything else. So in reality, I think out of anything, that this might be a very optimistic earnings. Of course, it could sell off, it could spike. It's a kind of Russian roulette a little bit right now. Looking at options, same goes for that. People just don't know where Lucid is going. There was $1.5 million in calls being purchased versus 791,000 in puts. So as far as the sentiment, kind of evenly divided, 50-50. So of course tomorrow there's Nvidia earnings. That's going to probably take priority on what does happen in the broader market, whether it sells off or kind of spikes. So probably a lot of the bearishness that is being bought is as a result of that. I'm not really sure, of course, but looking right here, of the call options that are being purchased, it is anticipated for it to be oddly around the 4 to 450 by the end of this week. But looking at puts, it is anticipated to be between 250 and 3. So as far as that goes, complete opposites. And when it comes to support and resistance points with it at $3.68, it is between this pivot and this R1. So 363 is going to be the next strong support, which it kind of did break past a little bit. And then $3.89, it's going to be the next strong resistance. Didn't really touch this R1, but once again, just take a mental image of a lot of this, just going into Lucid's upcoming earnings. And then when it comes to the technicals, let's talk on that for a second. So just quickly looking at the chart, today it was flirting with that 50-day moving average, and historically Lucid has always really struggled with that 50-day moving average. But generally, once it does get over that and is able to successfully stay above that for 2 consecutive trading days, this is where you do see a nice bump up in the stock price, about like a 20% run. So we are on the edge right now, as you can kind of see right here. It is higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Looking at the stochastic, it is at 80, so somewhat considered overbought, somewhat justified, somewhat not. We'll just have to wait and see once again until the earnings to see what they are truly saying. Number of retail investors, or number of buyers essentially, aka retail, has been getting out over the last couple of days. So I don't know if they maybe are just fearful, taking profits, because if you think about it, Lucid has bounced off of this around 250 range. So potentially some people are at a pretty good profit right now. So maybe they're just taking profits or something like that. I'm not really sure. If you're one of those individuals that did sell out recently, let me know why. Do you think that Lucid earnings is going to be negative, causing a downtrend, or what's your viewpoint on all that? I recently did do a poll on Twitter, got about only 240 votes, so not all that much, but will Lucid be red or green by the end of this week with their earnings? And there's a consensus about 52 or 53% that is going to be green. So still, even when it comes down to the individuals that did vote on this, it is somewhat evenly divided. So what's your thoughts on that? And as well, what's your thoughts on their expansion? Do you think that it's the right time to do that? Do you think it's more of a negative? What's your thoughts on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued to up to $2,000. Take advantage of that while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.